How we doing today? Oh, it's getting late out here. I thought I was gonna get a sunset, but no clouds tonight. They all blew out with the wind. So we're doing a different exercise tonight. I call it embracing the weird. Let's get into it. That is awesome. Embracing the weird. Well, that's just a fancy way of saying to look for something, look for intimate details in the landscape. Tonight tonight we didn't have much of a sunset because the clouds all blew out. So I thought it was a good time to, because I still wanted to take some pictures, I thought it was a good time to start looking around for little intimate details that we normally walk right past. I'm testing out a new lens today. I've got my new Tamron lens that I just bought and haven't shot with it much, so I thought tonight would be a good night. One thing about landscape photography is a lot of times we're overwhelmed by the vastness of the landscape. You take a look around, but over here, there's mountains and land and cactuses and valleys and rocks, and it's when you shoot a real wide shot, you miss a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, those wide vistas are awesome. I love taking them and I love looking at them. I love experiencing it. But to improve your photography skills, you got to start looking a little closer at things. Here's a perfect example right here. I was walking up this little wash right here, and I saw this cactus. It's got all the arms are growing out on one side. They're all coming out. They're all coming out on this side, and there is a bunch of them. Look at that. Now, normally you would just walk by that, and I would too. I would just say, "Nah, that's too freaky. That's not the quintessential Arizona Saguaro cactus with two arms, 6 feet tall." But there's something interesting about this. There's a pattern here. There's organization in the chaos, and I like that. So if you look right here, there's a bunch of these arms coming out right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have a little yellow spot on the top of them. So I'm taking a vertical shot, trying to get a couple of those in the shot. And I don't care what anybody says, that's an interesting shot. Another thing I found was there was a Saguaro Skeleton. Oh, my hat's falling off in the wind here. There was a Saguaro Skeleton down there. And there's a bunch of, as it decays, it leaves a bunch of ribs, and part of the skin of the saguaro dries up, and it makes really interesting patterns and shapes. And one of the things that I look for in photography is repeating patterns. And that is full. I'll show you the picture right now. So, when you're out walking around, it doesn't matter where you are, if you're in the woods or in the desert, on the beach, it doesn't really matter. There's little details everywhere. And most people will walk right past them and never even notice them. You have to train yourself to ignore the big picture, of everything out here, and focus in on looking at little stuff like that. Whether it be rocks, plants, leaves, some lily pads in the water. Doesn't matter. Maybe the way the frost is sitting on the windowsill. All those little intimate shots are great for telling stories that most people just ignore. So try to embrace the weird and look around for stuff that people would normally not shoot. They would just ignore it because it's, I don't know if they just don't see it or they're just looking at the big picture and missing it. But there are tons of them out there. There's one right there. There's one right there. This is a cholla cactus that has died. And when they die, they look like this. They look like this. When they die, they leave looks like almost a snake skin. But look right there. See how that's all furry and fuzzy, and then it's got that little patch of skeleton showing out of there? I think that's a perfect example. Hang on a second, let me get you in here. I think that's a perfect example of what we're talking about right here. Let's see if we can do something with this. I gotta get a little closer, but there's cactuses all over the ground here. All right. Just gonna bring that right out of the corner of the frame here on an angle. Focus on the little skeleton. Now, is that shot gonna win some photo contest? Is it gonna be on the cover of Arizona Highways magazine? Probably not. But I think it's interesting, and it caught my eye. And the reason things catch your eye is because they're photo worthy. That's why you see them. They're interesting. That's why they catch your eye. Here's another one right here. Look at this rascal. Now, I did not bring my macro lens, which I probably should have. But if we get in here something like this, I don't know how close this lens will focus. Not that close. They're not all keepers. They're not all keepers. If I had more time to work that subject, I could probably get something out of there, which I may have. We'll see. It's just an exercise today, embracing the weird. And I'm looking for weird stuff. This is a good exercise to do when you're out waiting for that sun to go down. You're half an hour away from sunset. You're waiting for those clouds to kick off light. It's time to embrace the weird and find something to take a picture of. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy growing out of here. Look at that. Now, in 150 years, that's going to be a giant saguaro cactus if it doesn't die. But today, it makes for a cool picture because there's a little bit of, what do you call it? There's life and death in both in this shot. There's the dead cholla cactus laying there and the saguaro that's growing out of it. It's by looking at it, it seems like that dead cholla blocked the wind so that saguaro could take root. Did it give its life for that other cactus to grow? Or was the saguaro just lucky enough to land there and start to grow? I don't know, but it's a cool image. I'm going to take it. That's what I like about those. Hang on a second. Let me get you in here. That's what I like about those intimate shots is they tell a story. They do tell a story. Let's put this right on the ground here. No, too much sky in it. Let's take that right there. Get that little mountain in the back. Something like that. Let's take it on the one, just in case, because I don't have my cheaters on. There we go. I like that. I like that life and death aspect of that shot. Most people won't see it. Some people will. But that's the interesting thing about stories and photography, is you get to interpret it any way you want. All right, I'm gonna go. It's starting to get dark and it's cooling off and the snakes are gonna come out and I hate snakes. So when you're out taking pictures, no matter where you are, family event, at the beach, in the woods, sitting in your car, the drive-through, look for those intimate details, those little things that are around us every day and we just ignore or don't see. And embrace the weird. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Get on, take some pictures. Take care. Oh, is that a snake?